What's going on, everyone? Well, that's all, folks. The Los Angeles Lakers are officially eliminated from the playoffs. Didn't go the way that we had hoped. Look, I talked very heavily about how I had my concerns against Minnesota. I thought the Lakers would win this series. I thought the Lakers could win this series. But I was worried about the matchup, the physicality, the interior size. Rudy Gobert being turned into Shaquille O'Neal didn't help at all this game. But just in general, right? Like, this was probably one of the worst matchups for the Lakers, particularly in the first round, right? I didn't mind playing Minnesota in a later round because I think by then the Lakers would have figured some stuff out. I think by then the Lakers would have gotten kind of the kinks worked out, kind of better grasp and understanding. Luka would have been in better rhythm, LeBron, right? Hopefully Reeves would have built some confidence along the way. He was like unplayably bad in this series, particularly that last game. And just, you saw all the issues, saw all the struggles. And, credit Minnesota. You tip your cap to Minnesota. They did what they needed to do. They handled their business and they pulled out the win, right? They were the better team, right? It's unfortunate because I do think if, Austin Reeves would have been great, like what we saw leading into the postseason. And, we had other guys step up to the level in which we saw in the regular season. I think that this is a team that could have easily won against Minnesota. But look, what's done is done. Series is over, season's over, and you're looking to the offseason, right? And you got a lot of work ahead of you, got a lot of, things that they got to resolve and figure out. This team needs a lot. I think this team needs an entire revamp. You need athleticism, versatility, right? You need shooting, big men, right? Lakers have a lot that they're going to have to address this upcoming offseason. But, it sucks to go out the way that we did. Even losing the series, like if we lost in a tough 7, right? Maybe a really hard fought 6 or something, then sure. But it was just kind of the same old, right? 3 years in a row, you lose within 5 games, right? You got swept by Denver, lost in 5 to Denver, lost in 5 to Minnesota. And, it's just like nothing's really changed. And it's the players, the Lakers really got to revamp this roster. I see a lot of people that are like, oh, JJ Redick's trash and this, that, and that. Like, what is JJ supposed to do? Right? Like, I see people, oh, should have played Dalton Connect. Okay, Dalton Connect isn't winning this series for us. Right? Like, Jackson Hayes was unplayable. I see a lot of people like, oh, he should have played Jackson Hayes. Like, he tried to play Kleba. Again, no one showed up. Like, what? A coach can only do so much. JJ Redick is only responsible and can only micromanage so many ways. He's not responsible for Austin Reeves having 6 turnovers and basically being, doing his best D'Angelo Russell impression this playoffs, right? He's not responsible for Luka and LeBron, and LeBron turning the ball over and Luka trapping himself in the corner and, ill-advised shots. And, what is he supposed to do? He's supposed to just play Bronny James, Dalton Connect, and Alex Lynn for 40 minutes. We just didn't have it, right? Talk about it all the time. You're either good enough or you're not. Lakers just weren't good enough. It's that simple, right? The team wasn't good enough, right? You went and you traded for Luka, which is great, right? You should have done that. You got yourself set up for the next 10 years, right? But that trade was about the future, right? Obviously, it was the idea of giving us the chance right now and then the future. Unfortunately, like I said, it didn't work out the way that it did. And, not getting a center and stuff like that really came back to bite us and just kind of put the Lakers behind the 8 ball. And, guys didn't hit shots. Guys didn't play to the level in which we needed them to play. Luka and LeBron looked gassed because they just didn't have the support all series. Credit Rui Hachimura. He showed up in that final game. He came to play, but, it was kind of a little too little too late. Right? Austin Reeves, who was supposed to be your third best player, was supposed to be the guy that, we counted on and relied on for a nightly basis. I don't care what you did in the regular season. He could have been Michael Jordan in the regular season. If come playoff time, you're D'Angelo Russell, well then, I hate to break it to you. It's irrelevant. And, Minnesota just they were tougher, they were bigger, they were more athletic, they were more physical. They imposed their will on the Lakers all series long. And fourth quarters bit us in the behind all series long. which is crazy considering you had Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. But again, like, what is JJ supposed to do? Right? Like, LeBron doesn't show up in the fourth. Luka doesn't show up in the fourth. Like, what is he supposed to do? He's supposed to just not play them? Right? Austin Reeves. I saw a lot of people, oh, Austin Reeves shouldn't have seen the court. Like, who is he playing him over? What, did he play Gabe Vincent 40 minutes? Like, he was 0-2 from the floor. Right? Like, again, like, you're only as good, our coach is only as good as his roster. All right? Eric Spoelstra is looked at as one of, if not the best coaches in the entire NBA. Right? And he lost by an average of 50. Again, you're only as good as the talent on your roster. And look, to be honest, I'd rather be in the position we're in now, get it over with, right, than continue to build false hope. Obviously, it's better to lose in later rounds than it is the first round, right? Obviously, I'd love more Laker basketball. More Laker basketball, the better. But the reality is, again, you're either good enough or you're not. And I'd rather find out sooner rather than later than us, get to the conference finals and end up getting swept by OKC or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we weren't good enough, right? I'd rather, get through what we needed to get through, get to the position that we're in now. And now we have more time to kind of evaluate, figure out what we need to do, right? Rob Pelinka can start putting, pen to paper a little bit, start gearing up for the off season and, put us in a position to hopefully be back into contention next season. Hopefully be in a position where we have the pieces and the players and all the things necessary to now go try to win an NBA championship, because we just unfortunately didn't have it this year. And it sucks. It's unfortunate, but again, you credit, the Minnesota Timberwolves. They did what they were supposed to do. The Lakers didn't do what they were supposed to do. Role players showed up. Our guys didn't show up. Minnesota was the more dominant, imposing team. Gave us trouble all series. It was the same script over and over again. We learned that from the Denver series, right? Like, it just, what do? You just, again, you tip your cap. You say, hey, we'll see you again next year. You hope that they win the championship, so at least you could say you lost to the champions, right? Rather than them losing in the next round or something like that. But here we go. It's gearing up for the offseason. Start getting your ducks in a row, right? Start kind of evaluating and seeing, like, who are you keeping, who are you trading, how are you doing it, what are you approaching, right? Like, just kind of go through the ins and outs. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? How do you feel about the Lakers being eliminated? What did you think of the season thus far? Are you excited for the offseason and getting into the playoffs, or the regular season, and then hopefully next year's playoffs? Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.